Right, fish and chips. I've got a small amount of plain flour just for coating the fish. I've got about 4 ounces of self-raising flour for the batter. I'm going to mix that with water. It's got a pinch of salt in there and we need a dash of vinegar. So I've got a large potato which I've cut into chips, and this fish and chips is going to be for 2 people. So first of all I'm going to make the batter. Small amount of water in there and we'll mix it to a smooth paste. And then it's just a matter of adding more water until you get the right consistency, which means needs to be like single cream. So we're not quite there yet. A little bit. So we need it to lightly coat your finger, which I would say that's lightly coated. So that's the batter. Right, I've got this piece of cod, weighs about 12 ounces. This is where the bones are, down that line there, and then they stop about there. So what I normally do, I cut that piece out, cut it straight down like that. That's got rid of the bones completely. You can check it by running your thumb down there just to make sure there are no bones left. So we throw that away. I'm going to cut off that thin tail bit. I shall still batter these and fry them, but not as long as the main piece, because they're so thin they cook very quickly and it's very, very easy to overcook fish. So we dip the pieces of fish in the plain flour. This helps the batter to stick to the fish. I don't think they do this in fish and chip shops though, but I always do it at work. So I've got the chip pan on with vegetable oil. I'm going to gently lower the chips in. I'm going to cook those for about 10 minutes until we're almost done. And then I shall take them out, cook the fish, and then pop them back in at the last minute just to brown them off. The chips are turning brown now, which means they're nearly done. Just give them a bit of a shake. I'm going to pop those in the lid while I cook the fish. And I've got the heat on high. When you see the batter float to the top like that, you know that the fat's hot enough. So I'm just going to cook the 2 bigger pieces first. It only takes about 5 minutes. As I say, you've got to be very careful not to overcook fish because it goes chewy if you do. So the big pieces are more, about half cooked now, so I've turned them over. So I'm just going to put these thin pieces in, and then they should all be cooked about the same time. Waste not, want not. Right, the fish is cooked now. The main pieces are anyway. I'm just going to leave those a couple of minutes to brown. And then we'll pop the chips back in to finish off. Before we put the chips back in, I'm going to scoop off the bits of batter. Now some people like these. In Yorkshire we call them bits. In Lancashire they call them scraps. Just thought you'd like to know that piece of trivia. If you leave them in, they just get darker and darker, and then the fat gets dirty. So back in with the chips to crisp them up. 1 minute should do it. So there you go, fish and chips. I'm going to serve them up with a lovely dollop of tartar sauce. So there you go, easy peasy, cheap as chips.